Young and old alike gathered to watch a restored steam-powered train arrive in Salina on Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. The locomotive chugged into the train station at 400 North 13th Street about 2:40 p.m., 25 minutes behind schedule. The Union Pacific Big Boy number 4014 is touring the American Southwest. The tour was created to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. The Big Boy locomotive was originally retired in 1961 after operating for 20 years and traveling more than 1 million miles. After Union Pacific reacquired the locomotive in 2013, the company began restoring it. The train began its second round of travels in May 2019. For Salina Media Connection, I'm Jason Beats.
Hi, and how are you? Today starts a program just for you from the Salina Media Connection. People from the Salina community are getting together for a program where they'll be telling stories, dancing, singing, all kinds of fun stuff. And because it is just for you, we're calling it the Kids Connection. It's going to be on every morning at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. It's about arts, health, wellness, and education. Like I said, lots of fun stuff you'll want to see. Again, it's on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. The Kids Connection, just for you. Come on, join in. I know you'll have fun.
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. I've got my ukulele, I've got my harmonica. The harmonica's in the key of C. It's got the letter C written on it. I'm going to play my C ukulele chords, and I'm going to do a song that's really a lot of fun. I used to work at a camp, a summer camp, in the mountains of North Carolina. You might not be able to guess what time of year I worked there, you know, at that summer camp. Can anybody figure that out? Winter? No, wasn't a winter. Yeah, it was in the summer. That's why they called it a summer camp, you know. Well, we used to get together in the evening, sometimes around a campfire, sometimes in a big, like a barn, and all the kids and counselors would be in there, and we'd do some pretty funny little stuff. And we did this thing with this song called My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. The words go like this. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. And there's a little more. But what you really need to listen to in this song is anytime there's a word that starts with the letter B, just like, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. It's time for you to do something. Now you can do it if you're sitting down and you hear a B, you would stand up. If you're standing up and another bee comes around, you would sit back down, okay? Now, you could do it with your hands like this. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. If you're really tired, you could just use your finger. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. If you always wanted to be a chicken when you grew up, you could do it with your wings. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. It's pretty easy. You can stand up. Oh, if you like to really move around, if you really got a lot of energy, you could take a step forward. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. You can probably make up other fun ways to do it. Let's practice it one time with the music, and then we'll do it up to speed. I'll play a little bit on the harmonica and ukulele, though, just so I can get warmed up. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Bring back my Bonnie to me. Doing pretty good? You could use your hands, your fingers, your wings, your feet. You could sit up, stand up, sit down, do it any way you want. But everybody ready? I think we should speed it up a little. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Bring back my Bonnie to me. Oh, get ready. Bring back, bring back, bring back my Bonnie to me, to me. Oh no! Bring back, bring back, bring back my Bonnie to me. How'd we do? How'd we do? Getting there? It got going. There was a lot of bees in that second part, weren't there? Let's try it one more time. A little bit faster? I don't know. What do you think? Oh, I think the fasters win. I think everybody wants it faster. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. So bring back my Bonnie to me. So bring back bring back my Bonnie to me, to me. Bring back my Bonnie to me. Oh, good job, everybody. Now, you know what? You don't have to have a harmonica. You don't have to have a ukulele. You know what would be really fun to do? Get a couple grown-ups, say, hey, I got something for you to do. Sit them in chairs, you know, and then teach them how to do this and do it at home. But you know what's even more fun than 2 people? What's more fun than 2 people is to have 3 people sitting down, you know, all spaced out just perfect. Because if you have 2 people and one's up and one's down, you're not sure who's doing it the right way. One might be doing it backwards. It doesn't really matter, but it's kind of funny to see one go up and one go down. But when you have 3 people doing it, they all might 3 be going up a while, and then maybe one in the middle starts doing it different, or one on the side, and they start looking at each other, and it just gets hilarious. So you ought to give it a try like that. Try it out with your folks in your family, your neighbors, and get some grown-ups too. They need some of that good exercise. It's a real, what you call a thigh buster. You can lose a lot of weight doing this song, and it doesn't cost you anything. Don't have to sign up for a program, don't have to buy no special food or nothing. It's a real good way to slim on down with My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. Well, I'm Thad Beach. Hope to see you again here on the Kids Connections. Keep watching and take care.
Hello. How are you, my friends? I hope you're well today. This is Miss Lori from Rolling Hill Zoo, and it's story time at the zoo again. I've chosen Turtles Penguin Day. My goodness, what could that mean? A turtle? A penguin? What is this? A turtle dressed up like a penguin? Shall we read and see? Let's read. One night, Father Turtle read Little Turtle a story about penguins. When Little Turtle fell asleep, he dreamed he was a penguin. He played on the ice and dove into the water and swam and splashed with the other penguins. In the morning, Little Turtle decided he wanted to be a penguin. He put on his red slippers and waddled from side to side. And after breakfast, Little Turtle had an idea. He went up to the attic and found his grandfather's black jacket in an old chest, and he put it on. "Now I look like a real penguin," said Little Turtle, staring at himself in the mirror. "Hurry up, honey," said Mother Turtle, "or you'll be late for school." "I'm ready," said Little Turtle. Oh, goodness, you can't go to school in that funny costume," said Mother Turtle. "It's not a funny costume," said Little Turtle. "I'm a penguin." And when he put the book about the penguins into his backpack, he waddled outside to the school bus. "Hello, Little Turtle," called the kids on the school bus. "Great costume." "Thank you," said Little Turtle. I'm a penguin from the South Pole. Miss Dog, look! Cried the children when they got to school. We have a penguin in the class. Oh my, said Miss Dog. Why do you look like a penguin today, little turtle? Oh, there's Miss Dog, the teacher. Look at all the friends looking at little turtle. Because Daddy read me a book about penguins last night, said little turtle. I love penguins. I love waddling from side to side like penguins. I love sliding on my belly like penguins do. I even love to sleep standing up like penguins do, said the little turtle. There he is waddling, sliding, standing up sleeping. We want to be penguins too, cried all the children. So while Miss Dog read to them from the penguin book, they all tried to pass balls to each other using just their feet, the way penguins do with their eggs. See? They're passing their eggs, the balls there, just like the penguins do with their eggs. There's Miss Dog reading from the penguin book. And when they had recess, little turtle and his friends slid down the slide on their bellies, pretending they were penguins sliding on the ice. Woo! During music time, they all danced a waddling penguin dance. Oh, goodness. They're all in a line. They're waddling just like a penguin. And at nap time, all they dreamed about were penguin dreams. How was school today? Asked Mother Turtle when Little Turtle came home. We had a penguin day, said Little Turtle. It was great. There's Mama. Little Turtle, there goes the bus. That night, Little Turtle ate fish-shaped crackers with dinner because penguins love fish. And before he went to sleep, Little Turtle brushed his penguin beak. There they are. See the fish crackers? And there, just like he's brushing his teeth, but he's brushing his beak. Even when Little Turtle got into bed, he still pretended to be diving and swimming with his penguin friends. He dove right into his bed. Then Father Turtle brought a new bedtime story to read. This is the story of the little monkey who lives in a beautiful jungle, he said. Really? Said Little Turtle. A monkey? And when Little Turtle fell asleep that night, he dreamed he was a funny little monkey. Gracious. I hope you have a good day, and thank you so much for coming, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Lori, for reading Turtle's Penguin Day. Now, I have brought a very special guest, and it's actually special to the state of Kansas as well, is April, our ornate box turtle. If most of you don't know this, the box turtle is the state of Kansas reptile. Now, box turtles are really special in themselves because they have something really special on their plastron, or the bottom of their shell. And that's going to be this fancy little hinge down here. And if she feels threatened, she can actually close her front claws and her head all the way in there and close that as well. She can also, oh, she did it a little bit for you. Also, you can always tell if it's a male or female turtle or tortoise if their plastron is concave or if it is flat. So this tells me that she is a female because females have a very flat shell, or their bottom of their plastron is going to be much more flat. Males are going to be concave, which means it's going to have a little bit of a dip in there for them. Now these guys, their diet consists of a lot of different things. Basically anything they can eat, small mammal-wise, insects, worms, but then they'll also eat fruits and seeds, but then they can also eat some poisonous mushrooms that would be poisonous to us, which can make these guys actually poisonous. And that would just be if, because the poison can actually linger on their skin. April's on a mission now. Come back this way, girlie. Everybody wants to go in that direction today. So she's a reptile, which means that she has to depend on her environment to stay warm. We are going to start seeing these guys pretty active here shortly in the month of April and through all the way through October. What they're going to do is they're going to do a lot of different things then. And they're going to start eating a whole lot, and then they're going to breed. Now, a lot of people like to do box turtle racing and have them as pets because they're fairly calm and tame. But that's actually part of the reason why these guys are considered near threatened. Rolling Hills Zoo is actually doing, participating in a study of the actual number of box turtles in the area to see if their status needs to go further into the endangerment because they are far and few between anymore. The other huge predator for them is going to be cars, because that nice warm road provides almost like a heat source for them, or they're crossing to find some sort of mate or water or food. So if a lot of you guys think that turtles actually grow out of their shells or kind of can come out of their shells, that's actually false. These guys are in their shell for their entire life. They actually have a spinal cord, just like we do. If you feel on your back, you can feel your spine. Theirs actually is attached to their shell and to their actual body. If you ever find a turtle out in the wild, you don't want to go up to it and knock on it really hard, because that would be very painful to them. It would just be like if your brother or sister punched you in the arm, and that wouldn't feel too good. So we always want to rub April's shell very, very gently so that she feels calm and comfortable. If any of you guys have any questions about April here, I would encourage you to comment below. And I want to thank you for another session of Bringing the Zoo to You. We'll see you next time.
So glad you could join us. Keep watching. There's lots more.
Thad Beach. I bet you might know me by now. And welcome to the Kids Connection. I've got my ukulele and my harmonica, and we're going to do a song. I've always liked this song. It's about an animal. It's about a donkey, and it's kind of fun, and it's got a really fun melody. It's kind of fun to sing. It's got a good little rhythm to it. I'm going to use my harmonica in the key of C. If you're a ukulele player, the chords are pretty easy. It's in the key of C, and a lot of you ukulele players there probably know these chords. There's going to be a C, an F, and a G7th chord in this song. So chords that you're probably learning if you're beginning the ukulele, and even if you know how to play the ukulele pretty good, it's a good song to add to your list of songs you can play. So this song is called Tingaleo, and it comes from a place called the West Indies, the islands in the Caribbean Ocean. And specifically, the first time people started hearing it was it came from a place called Trinidad. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the words. You've already heard the melody. It goes, Tingaleo, come my little donkey, come, Tingaleo, come my little donkey, come. And then the verses are kind of funny. There's a really good pattern with the words. It goes, my donkey eats, my donkey sleeps, my donkey kicks with its hind feet. Now you might think that sounds a little weird because they eat, they sleep. Now sleep has a pa-pa-pa at the end, but feet rhymes with eat. So we've got some rhymes going there, but there's three words that always sound about the same. Well, I saw a bunch of words. I thought, hey, I'll make up some of my own. I'll try the same thing. So I was thinking about, well, maybe it was the fly swatters got me thinking about flies. So I was trying to think of two other words that rhyme with flies, and whew, it was just hard. It was so hard it almost made me cry. Oh, well, that gave me one of my rhymes, and so after I found that rhyme, I was kind of relieved, so I let out a sigh. So now we can say, my donkey sighs, my donkey cries, my donkey swats its tail at flies. Well, let's give it a try. Sing along. This is Tingaleo. If you don't have a ukulele, don't worry about it. Pick up your invisible ukulele and just strum along. It'll be good to start to loosen up that wrist and those fingers and get your hands going. Okay, everybody ready? Tingaleo, come a little donkey, come. Tingaleo, come a little donkey, come. My donkey eats, my donkey sleeps, my donkey kicks with its hind feet. My donkey cries, my donkey sighs, my donkey swats its tail, it flies. Tingaleo, come a little donkey, come. 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 Oh, I wonder, how about if I play the words on the harmonica, the melody, and you could keep the song going. 1, 2, Tinga. My donkey eats, my donkey sleeps, my donkey kicks with its hind feet. My donkey sighs, my donkey cries, and swats its tail at flies. Tingaleo, come a little donkey, come. 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 Oh, we're gonna head on down the road, me and my donkey and ukulele and harmonica. Let's take it on out. See you later. Take care.
Open Mind Storytime with Enchanted Circle Theater.
Hi there. Welcome to Open Mind Storytime. My name is Melissa Redwin, and I'm a performing and teaching artist with Enchanted Circle Theater. Today, I'm so excited to read a book called Her Right Foot by Dave Eggers, with art by Sean Harris. I chose this book because it reminds me that we are making history every day. It's ultimately a story about freedom and justice. This book was given to my daughter by her auntie Rachel because I know you'll want to know more about Madam Liberty. Her Right Foot. You have likely heard of a place called France. If you've heard of France, you may have heard of the French. They are the people who live in France. You may have also heard of something called the Statue of Liberty. Did you know that the Statue of Liberty comes from France? This is true. This is a factual book. One day, a Frenchman named Edouard de la Boulaye had an idea. The idea was to celebrate the 100 years the United States of America had been around by giving them a giant sculpture. So he convinced another Frenchman, a Frenchman with an Italian last name, to design the sculpture. This artist's name was Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi. Bartholdi designed the statue. He first made very small models of the sculpture, then larger ones, and finally one that is the one we know, which stands 305 feet above the water. This final full-size version was covered with a thin copper skin. The skin is about as thick as 2 pennies. That is not very thick. Here is a rendering of Bartholdi and his team. He had a team. He did not work alone. He did not like working alone. Constructing the statue's hand. Notice that the hand is bigger than these men. Thus, they made the statue in many parts. These parts were assembled in New York City. No, wait. First, they were assembled in Paris. Did you know this? Ask your friends and even your teachers if they knew that before the Statue of Liberty was assembled in New York, she was first constructed in Paris. Your friends and teachers will be astounded. They will be impressed. They might think you are fibbing, but you are not fibbing. This really happened. The Statue of Liberty stood there, high above Paris, for almost a year in 1884. After they assembled the statue in Paris, they took it apart. But we just put it together, the workers said. Oh, that is absurd, they said. They said all this in French, the language of the French, a people who appreciate the absurd. In 1885, after they took it apart, they put the parts in 214 crates and put these crates on a boat. The boat was called the Isère. The boat traveled over the Atlantic Ocean and made its way to a city called New York, which is in a state also called New York. Hundreds of workers, perhaps 214 of them, took the pieces out of the 214 boxes, then began to rivet the pieces together. Assembling the statue took 17 months, and it all happened on what was then called Bedloe's Island. Bartholdi liked to see the sculpture rise above the harbor. Sometimes he watched the construction from the water. Sometimes he watched it from the land. Usually he was wearing a sturdy black hat, for he, like most European men of the time, favored sturdy black hats. You may have noticed by now that the pictures of the Statue of Liberty in this book have her colored brown. You may have thought the illustrator of this book was not so good at his job, because we all know the Statue of Liberty to be a certain greenish blue. But the Statue of Liberty was made of copper, and copper starts out brown. Then very slowly, when left outside for long periods of time, copper will eventually oxidize. And when it does, it turns this blue-green color. So the Statue of Liberty that everyone in New York saw being constructed was actually brown. The Statue of Liberty, in fact, was brown for about 35 years. The statue turned green around 1920 and has been this color ever since. Perhaps you already knew this? And you may have known that the book the statue is carrying, the one in her left hand, features the date, July 4th, 1776, on which the Declaration of Independence was signed. And you may know that the 7 spikes on her crown represent the 7 seas on earth, and the 7 continents, and the sun's rays too. And you probably know that the torch she carries is a symbol of enlightenment, lighting the path to liberty and freedom. And you might have known that at one point, Thomas Edison, inventor of the light bulb and the record player, once proposed to have a giant record player inside the Statue of Liberty. He did. He wanted the statue to be able to speak. In the end, though, this idea was considered a bit strange and was not pursued. And did you know that the interior of the statue was designed by another Frenchman by the name of Eiffel? That's right, the same Eiffel who, a few years later, would design the Eiffel Tower. And did you know that while the statue was first being constructed in Paris, a bunch of Parisians, mostly writers, they liked to eat, actually dined in the area just below the statue's knee? This too is true. While the statue was rising, Bartholdi set up a lunch 4 stories up to impress and enthrall these French writers who, being difficult to impress and enthrall, were at least mildly amused. But there is one thing that you might not know, and this is the central point to this book, a point the author apologizes for taking so long to get to. The point is that even if you have seen a picture of the Statue of Liberty, or many pictures of the Statue of Liberty, or even hundreds of pictures of the Statue of Liberty, you probably have not seen pictures of her feet. And even if you have seen pictures of her feet, you probably have not seen pictures of the back of her feet, in particular, her right foot. What do you notice when you see this picture? That's right! She is going somewhere. She is on the move. Let's pause here and collect ourselves and think about this. Let's discuss this. Let's think about and discuss the fact that this is the largest sculpture in all the land and the most iconic symbol of the United States of America. Let's talk about the fact that this statue has welcomed millions of visitors and immigrants to the USA. People talk about her unusual headwear. They talk about her gown, which seems a very heavy kind of garment and would likely result in serious lower back issues. They talk about her beautiful torch and the severe look on her face. But no one talks about the fact that she is walking. This 150-foot woman is on the go. Every time we see the Statue of Liberty in pictures, or any time we imagine the Statue of Liberty, we see her standing still, very still, like, well, a statue. But she is moving. She weighs 450,000 pounds and wears a size 879 shoe, and she is moving. How could we all have missed this? Or even if we saw this and noticed this, how is it that we have seen and noticed a 450,000 pound human on her way somewhere and said, just another 150-foot woman walking off a 150-foot pedestal? And most important, where is she going? Is she going to Soho to get a panini? Is she going to the West Village to look for vintage Nico records? No. No. She is facing southwest, so she is facing New Jersey. Could she be going to Trenton? Wait, no, she is facing southeast. So she is not going to New Jersey, but she is going somewhere. But where? Why is she moving? There are certain things we know. We know that around her feet are chains. They are broken chains, implying that she has freed herself from bondage. We know that Bartholdi wanted us to know this. He wanted us to see the chains. People have talked about the chains, but few talk about the foot that is so obviously in mid-stride, about the fact that her entire right leg is in mid-stride. What does this mean? What does this mean that we often forget about this right foot, this right leg? Here is an idea. Here is a theory. Here is a reminder. If the Statue of Liberty is a symbol of freedom, if the Statue of Liberty has welcomed millions of immigrants to the United States, then how can she stand still? Liberty and freedom from oppression are not things you get or grant by standing around like some kind of statue. No, these are things that require action, courage, an unwillingness to rest. The Statue of Liberty was not built to welcome just 1,886 immigrants from Italy on one certain Sunday in, say, 1886. No, she was built to welcome 3,000 immigrants from Poland the next day. The next day, 5,000 Norwegians. After that, 10,000 Glaswegians. Then Cambodians. Then Estonians, Somalis, Nepalis, Syrians, Liberians. It never ends. It cannot end. After all, the Statue of Liberty is an immigrant too. And this is why she's moving. This is why she's striding. In welcoming the poor, the tired, the struggling to breathe free. She is not content to wait. She must meet them in the sea. I hope you've enjoyed her right foot. I know it's given me a lot to think about. This has been Open Mind Story Time. It's been a pleasure to be with you today. And until next week, take good care and keep reading.
With ranch. It is really good. I agree. Okay, let's.
Hello again, my friends. This is Miss Lori. I'm coming to you from Rolling Hill Zoo. It's story time again. I've chosen The Bunny of Blue Bell Hill. Now, for some of you, you've been out to the zoo, and maybe some of you have been in camps, and you know what's coming, don't you? We have a beautiful bunny, and he's going to show up right after I read this story. So, Miss Lori better get started, huh? Okay, let's start. At the top of Bluebell Hill, there was an old oak tree, and underneath that oak tree, there was a burrow, and in that burrow lived a bunny. It was a very nice burrow with 4 little rooms and bluebells growing by the front door. But Bunny didn't like it. "I'm bored with this burrow," said Bunny to herself. "I'm tired of walking up and down this hill. I'm fed up with being hit on the head by acorns, and I'm very, very bored with bluebells. I want an exciting new house." So without further ado, she set off to find herself one. Bunny's friend Squirrel took her to see her high-rise treehouse. But Bunny didn't have a head for heights, and her big paws just weren't meant for jumping about from branch to branch. "I'm sorry, Squirrel," said Bunny. "I think I need something a little closer to the ground." The next animal Bunny visited was Badger. He lived in a mossy bank in the heart of the old forest. It was dark and still among the trees, and there weren't many passers-by, which was just the way Badger liked it. "Oh, but it's too quiet for me," said Bunny. "If you like company, why not try living by the river?" suggested Otter. "There's always lots going on down here." But Bunny only had to take one look at Otter's houseboat to know that it wouldn't suit her. "Oh, no, it's much too wet here for me," she wailed. Then what about going to the meadow where the field mouse lives?" suggested Otter. Field Mouse seemed happy living in the meadow, but no matter how hard she tried, Bunny just could not get comfortable there. For a start, there was no shade anywhere, and when the sun beat down, it was very hot. And the pollen from the poppies was extremely sneezy, and the wheat stalks were scratchy. So that was no good either. "What about the owl's house?" suggested Field Mouse. Owl lived in the loft of the old barn, and it was certainly dry and very clean. But there was something wrong with that too. "Oh, my goodness," Bunny said. "It's just too drafty. Would she ever find a new home?" In the shadow of the mountain, the little rabbit found an empty cave. It was slightly gloomy, but at least there was lots of space. She thought it might be just the place until she heard a rumbling sound. A low, grumbly, growly sort of sound. Then she realized, oh my gracious, it's a bear's house. "Oh, and Bear snores too much," said Bunny. "I possibly could not live in that place." Bunny was about to give up looking when she came across a smart blue door amongst the twisted roots of a chestnut tree. "This would be perfect," Bunny said to herself. But something seemed wrong. The place had a funny smell, a frightful, foxy sort of smell. Suddenly, Bunny felt very afraid, and she ran away as fast as she could. "Oh boy, there's the blue door. Look here, that's what she's running away from. What is that?" "It's a fox, that's right." Bunny ran and ran past the barn and the field, the river and the forest, all the way back to Bluebell Hill. She ran up the hill, past the bluebells and the oak tree, and straight in through her own front door. Bunny looked around her little burrow. It's not too hot or too wet. It's not too quiet or too noisy. In fact, it's the perfect place for me, said Bunny happily. And so it was. Home, sweet home. Well, I'll tell you what. The bunny's coming, and Miss Jessica's almost here. Thanks so much, and have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Lori, for reading The Bunny of Bluebell Hill. This here is our bunny, or what we call our rabbit. He's a Flemish giant rabbit, Mr. Bun, and he actually is a completely domesticated species, so you're not going to find any of these guys out in the wild. They are believed to, their breed originated from Belgium and Germany, and the reason why they were originally bred was for their fur and meat, and that's because they repopulate so quickly. They were used to be placed on ships, and when the sailors would set sail, they would have these guys, and they eat very, very minimal hay and grasses, so they are easily cared for on ships. So, and they would produce quite a bit and grow quickly, so they would use them for their fur and meat. They are actually still today used for their fur and meat. Now, in the wild, rabbits do eat just grasses or hays, and so he's going to be a prey species, or what we call an herbivore. Mr. Bun here is actually being very, very well behaved, staying right here for you guys to get a close-up. Now, rabbits actually have terrible eyesight up close because they actually have a special eyesight to help them detect movements in the distance so that they can protect themselves from any predators that might be. Now, since these guys are a completely domesticated species, they don't have any actual predators, except for, of course, people. Rabbits actually cannot deal with heat very well. Their blood vessels in their ears will actually swell up and act as a cooling system for them. And then when they get too cold, their blood vessels in their ears will actually constrict and get smaller to help them warm up. Now, Flemish giant rabbits are going to be your largest domestic species that we have in the world. These guys can weigh up to 25 pounds. Mr. Bun here weighs, I believe, between 15 and 16 pounds. I would have to ask Zach or Cody what his last weight was. You guys can certainly comment below and maybe guess his weight and see if you can guess it right on. Now, Mr. Bun here is going to be 5 years old. I'm sorry, he is 5 years old. And these guys can live up to about 10 years old with good care, which he gets great care. He has a beautiful large enclosure that you guys have gotten to see when you guys got to tour the main barn. If you guys have any questions about Mr. Bun here, I encourage you to comment below, and don't forget to guess his weight if you can guess it right on. And I want to thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
ice cream, it'll make you scream. Dig into pie and give a high five. Dig into a cake, it'll make you shake. Dig into a book and you'll be hooked. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, D-I-G. There are treasures in the books we read. Dig into a book and you will see. The more you dig, the more you learn. Dig a little deeper for a big return. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, D-I-G. If you're digging for gold in all the wrong places, you may end up with an empty case. You dig into a book, you can't go wrong. The knowledge you gain will be lifelong. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, D-I-G. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, D-I-G. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, dig into reading. D-I-G, D-I-G.
Okay, I need to start the meeting. Oh, there's my glasses. Oh, let's see. How do I do that? Okay, to that. Oh, do I look good for this? Oh, yes. Oh, I wonder where Bartholomew is. Bartholomew? Oh, I see Bartholomew. I think he's arriving. Oh, how do I let him in? Let's see. Bartholomew! Bartholomew, turn on your video. Oh, there you are. Hi, Bartholomew. Oh, Bartholomew, you're muted. Take the mute off. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Is that hi?
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
there you are. Yes, dear.
Good. Oh, Miss Bella, it's so good to see you. Are you doing okay? Where's Mr. Heron?
Oh, I'm sure he's coming. Oh, dear Bartholomew, it's so good to see you. I didn't know if you would be awake from hibernating yet. How is everything at Lily Pad Park?
Well, I'm doing well. I was so surprised when I woke up from winter hibernation to find I couldn't go see my friends. I could only go out for hunting.
Oh, it's a different world, isn't it, my dear? Oh, there's Heron! Oh, you're muted, Mr. Great Blue Heron, though, yes. Oh, well, we probably won't actually hear from you as you're not much of a talker. Oh, I know, Heron. Down at the bottom, there is a chat button. Just click on that, and then you can type what you want to say. Give it a try. Yes.
Oh, look.
Oh, greetings. Oh, greetings to you too. I'm so glad to hear from you.
Oh, hi, Mr. Heron. It's good to see you. Can I show you my pet rock? His name is Harvey. He kept me company all winter long while I was hibernating in the mud. Say hi, Harvey.
Hi, Harvey. Hi. Oh, that's very nice. Well, should I catch you up on things since you've been out of it for a bit?
Well, sure.
it's a sickness going around, and to stop it from spreading to too many people and too quickly, we have to stay away from each other because that's how we get it, from each other. So we show we care by staying away from each other, even though it's driving me nuts. Oh, no offense to our bat friends. Oh, I wish I could see my bat friends. Well, so what have you been doing to stay busy, Bartholomew?
Well, I've been hunting and swimming and skipping rocks, but not Harold, of course, Harvey, not Harvey, of course. And I've been talking to my neighbor, Shelly the turtle, from a distance. And I've been doing mud paintings.
Oh, lovely. Oh, Heron dear, what have you been doing? Let's see, what's he saying? Oh, hunting, cooking, and yoga? Wow, yoga?
Oh, I can do yoga. See.
Oh, yes, dear. Very nice, dear. Well, I have been sewing masks in case I need to go to Beaver Forest to cut down a tree. Oh, wait, let me show you. Oh, just a minute. I think you're going to like it. It's quite beautiful. Oh, just a minute. I'm having a hard time. Sometimes they're a little tricky getting on. You need to cover your nose and your mouth. What do you think?
Wow, good job. That's nice.
Well, let me get this off. Just a minute. Oh, well, I've been swimming and cooking too. And my lodge has never been so tidy. Let me clean that screen. Oh, there we go. Oh, miss you? Oh, Heron, I miss you too.
Me too.
This is a difficult time. So strange being away from each other all the time. At least we can do this video conference thing.
Yeah, it's good to see your faces.
Yes. I see food. Oh, my. Oh, Heron. Heron is so funny. Bye-bye, Mr. Great Blue Heron.
Oh, bye, Mr. Great Blue Heron. Well, I guess I better go too. Harvey and we are going to go play in the mud.
Well, it was good to see you. Oh, well, we'll have to do this again soon. I'll let you know when. Until then, wash your hands. Don't touch your face, wear your mask, and keep social distancing. Ugh, you know, that's the hardest part. See you next time, Bartholomew. Take care. Bye.
Bye, Miss Bella. And, oh, Harvey says bye too. Bye, bye. Bye.
Bye, Bartholomew. Well, I guess I will go and get some rocks too. Bye-bye. This is Bella Beaver from the Smoky Hill River.
Thank you for watching Kids Connection. Make sure to watch it next time.